Welcome back, everybody. Okay, time for one more lunch recipe. Leah is here from the Apples and Beer Factory, and you guys do a lot of flatbreads out there, I understand.
We do. We have an awesome pulled pork flatbread and a shredded chicken flatbread. And this is one of our definite guest favorites, and we'll make the portobello and onion balsamic vinaigrette flatbread.
That sounds delicious.
And it's super easy.
And it looks like it's big, so you can take a couple pieces, eat some lunch, and take a couple pieces and have it for lunch later in the week.
Yes,
so,
we
perfect.
say it feeds too generously.
There you go. So a little olive oil.
Right, and we're going to start just with our mushrooms and onions. We generously season them with salt and pepper, and then let the magic happen there.
And we're using portobello mushrooms and red onion.
Correct.
Okay.
And like I said, this is really simple. Then we have our goat cheese cream cheese blend.
That we made for that wrap sandwich earlier, and it was just basically 1 8-ounce block of Philadelphia cream cheese and then 1 small 5-ounce block of goat cheese. Beat those together. So that's going to be, so no red sauce here. This is going to be our sauce.
Correct. And we have this beautiful flatbread made by Breadsmith for us. It has our spent grain in it, and they put in some fresh herbs and I believe a little garlic too. And it is a perfect vehicle for a nice pizza, but, you know, nice hearty pizza because the flatbread is a little thicker and gives us a little more.
And you can actually buy these flatbread crusts or pizza crusts right at the grocery store, and then we'll toast it up in the oven and bring it back to life. So,
Absolutely.
Okay, so our spread is you know, generously our goat cheese spread on there.
Yep.
All right, and we're just waiting for our mushrooms and our onions to do our thing.
Right.
Okay.
So we use fresh rosemary in this, and the fresh rosemary and the balsamic are kind of what makes it special. So we do the fresh rosemary in with the sauteed mushrooms and onions.
Yum.
And then we also finish the pizza with it.
I love fresh rosemary.
I do too. And I mean, the smell is amazing.
Yep.
And it really adds kind of a more sophisticated flavor to this recipe, which is nice. And I think that's why we've gotten the response we have, because it's something a little bit different. And plus, it's a great meatless option. And you still get that heartiness of the portobello mushroom.
I'm a big fan of mushrooms. We were talking earlier. Obviously, it's the Apples and Beer Factory, so you're known for your homemade brews that you do there.
Correct.
And then you use a lot of the beer in a lot of the different recipes and things like that, or pair them with the flatbread and things like that.
Absolutely. We call it, well, I call it beer-centric food. It either goes well with beer or we use beer in it. We use beer braising, a lot of our slow-cooked meats, and then, of course, in some of our dressings. So it is pretty fun. And
they take the time. We were talking about, you know, things are made from scratch there. Homemade French fries, homemade coleslaw. You know, they don't open up cans or, you know, get stuff in. You do most of it right there in your kitchen.
We do. People will ask me, well, where do you get this from? Where do you get that from? I'm like, we get crazy ingredients here like carrots, celery, butter, you know, heavy cream. And we make it all in-house, and we have a great pastry chef, so we have wonderful desserts too.
So if you're going for lunch, save room for dessert.
Exactly.
Okay, so in goes some of our rosemary, and then we'll save some for the top. Okay. All right, so at home, let these mushrooms and the onions cook a little bit longer.
That's right. You let it kind of soften, and you want your mushrooms to, you know, be sweat long enough that they're nice and ready to go, essentially.
Wow, that rosemary smells amazing.
Doesn't smell great?
Okay.
Because when you put it in the oven, we're actually just kind of having it all marry together and firming up your crust, more so than cooking your vegetables.
Got it. Okay, so now at home, let it cook a little bit longer, but just
have a little.
So a pretty generous amount. Does it kind of all go on there?
Yep, it does.
Yum. I love portobellos too. Something a little different.
Yeah, we're all about good hearty food. So.
All right, now more cheese.
Yeah, we're just going to finish it off. We use a nice Wisconsin mozzarella and provolone blend. It just adds a little richness. And this isn't about a whole bunch of cheese. You know, we're just trying to finish it off to give it a little, you know, just some cheesiness. But again, it's a pretty healthy pizza.
Into the oven it goes, and bake it at high heat though, right?
Right. 400 or above. It depends on your oven, of course, and if you like to use a stone or anything like that, but at least 400 degrees to 450.
Okay, just until the cheese melts and the crust gets nice and crisp.
Absolutely.
And as mentioned, it doesn't take too long. All
Nope.
right, we've got some. Oh wow, this is getting brown.
Oh, it
we
is
didn't,
brown,
We
isn't
didn't
it?
do it on. It doesn't even need a a pan. We're just going to use that rack, and that'll keep it nice and crisp. Oh my goodness, Leah, that looks amazing. So a little bit of rosemary
Yeah,
on the
and
top.
then we finish it off with the rosemary. Give
Oh
you a
my
little
gosh.
freshness there.
Lunch and dinner, always great food, and save room for dessert at the Appleton Beer Factory. Thank you so much for coming. Really
Thank you for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
Thanks for sharing the recipes. We'll wait till this
Welcome.
to cool down, and we can't wait to cut into it. Stay with us. We'll be back.